It's Saturday. Do I spend a lot of time in the bed? Yeah, I do. Itching. This is such a bad angle for me. And I'm in the same sweatshirt I bought this new phone holder, and it's great in theory. It's like this big black thing with an arm, but the problem is the arm wants to it'd be great if you had like a table above your head. It is not good for the way that I sit. I like to sit beneath. So I need like a shelf to put up on the ceiling or something. Hey from cold Michigan. Well, I was like, my subscribers are going to hurt me because, oh, frickety frick. I didn't hit the subscriber button. Darn it. Hi, Facebook people. I don't know what I've been doing. Something. I'm down at the beach with Amos. We came yesterday. And we slept in. And there's a great jewelry store down here, and it's in Atlantic Beach, and now I can't remember the name of it, but it's at Atlantic Beach Station, and this guy can make the coolest stuff. But I had not one, not two, not three, but 6 forks that over the years got eaten by the dish disposal, and he was able to get the forks back to normal. When are you going to talk to Carrie again? I talked to her for a while yesterday on the phone. She's got a busy weekend. We're, in the middle of this book sailing. Oh no, Holly. And she has a son that plays baseball in college. So he had like a double header or whatever they call it today. Oh, Carrie is live right now on Autism Out Loud. Oh yeah, she said she was going to be on at 12. I guess I figured she was on for like 15 minutes. We'll go back over there and watch her. This was supposed to be my subscriber coffee chat, and I didn't hit the right button on the YouTube, and I'm drinking coffee, and it's noon. So that just tells you where I am. I was just thinking, Amos and I need so we always go places and do things, go, and I was thinking, really what we should be doing for spring break is the two of us should just come down here and do absolutely freaking nothing. That's what we should do. Where can you order a signed book? You can go to Valley Bookseller. You could go to autismoutloudbook.com and all the places. How's your sister-in-law? I think they're good. Yeah, I just texted with her this week. I don't know when they're coming. Again, I'm so busy I can't juggle anything else. And Amos has kicked me out of the living room. And I have a couch in my car because we decided we were going to take the couch from home and bring it to the beach. Amos loves to be with Mom at the beach. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And Mama loves to be with him at the beach. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to go see my parents for Easter, after Easter. But I was just thinking, I could really make life easy. We could just come to the condo. I'll ask him. You're having coffee. Oh, I'm so glad other people are late having coffee. I might drink my coffee and then go to Subtropic and get a turkey pepperoni sub. Even though, so I have a confession to make. There's some penance to be. It's bad times. For Lent, I gave up shopping. And last night, I fell off the wagon. Is that what it is? Or did you get back on the wagon? I was just sitting here, and Kate and I had done a YouTube video, a big video. And, oh, Becky's on YouTube. Yay. If you're watching the YouTube video, you ting the screen to show you're watching it. And she was like, you need to buy some clothes. If there's ever a time to buy clothes, it's now. You're going on a book tour. Well, that was all I needed to hear. And I fall off. Thank you, Joanne. I bought some clothes. I bought some shoes. I bought 2 dresses. I bought some pants. I'm not going to keep it all. I'm going to return some of it. So Mary Scott, my friend this morning, that we kind of gave up shopping together, she had said about a week ago, I think I'm going to give up online shopping. So I called her this morning and said, well, I'm giving up in-person shopping. They're business related. Did you know you can't count clothes that you buy for business? Is that not insane? I think you could count if you rented clothes. But if you buy, like, I bought a couch for business. This is a good tax conversation. That's what I should be doing right now is my freaking taxes. I bought a couch because I'm a vlogger, right? And I went on a bender, yes. And I do videos from my couch. And the accountant was like, you can't write off the couch unless you do nothing else with the couch. And I was like, that's right. I do nothing else with the couch. No one is allowed to sit on the couch. It's only for videos. You need it for your tour, but you could donate part of the money to the church. That's a good idea. I'll do that. I give church money. Why buy things just to plan to return them? Well, I didn't buy them to return them, but I bought 4 pairs of white jeans, and I only need 1 pair of white jeans. But I don't know what pair of white jeans I need. So I'm going to order all the jeans. It's free shipping, free returns, try on the jeans, and then mail 3 pairs back. No Posh Pelican visit. Well, I might have to go in there because they have a new location today. But I have Amos here. I don't know about taking him to Posh Pelican. It's a thought, though. Maybe I just won't shop. No, I mean, I went on a bender. Just this one time. Oh my. It's a lot of money going out right now and not much coming in. My credit card didn't work this morning. My son was trying to pay for a trip. He's going to study in England this summer. He was like, the credit card's not working. I'm like, probably because Citibank thinks that, like, I've been taken over by someone. And I call 3 times a week, and I'm like, I have my credit card. And they're like, well, I'm like, I have it. I promise you. I've been having to pay for lots of bills for my in-laws' house because we have not gotten the checks from Truist because they had a mortgage. And this morning, you know, I wrote this letter on Instagram. You might not have seen it. I wrote this letter on Instagram and Facebook, and it was to Truist. Now, I love our little branch of Truist in Edenton. We have this banker, Lisa. Like, when it happened, we took the check in there. Lisa and my father-in-law, like, talked. She called the 1-800 number for us. She went through with them, like, what do you need from them? I went back home, got the death certificate. I brought the stuff home. She did the UPS label. She was like, I'll run it to UPS. I mean, I just cannot tell you how wonderful she was. She helped me set it up online. Within 3 days, they had everything. And they were like, we get everything, we'll mail the check. It was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago Monday. So she was like, keep checking online. I have called. I haven't wanted to bug Lisa because I know that this is not Lisa's job. Like, Lisa works at the branch, and then this is somebody up, you know, way up here that holds gazillions of dollars, right, that people have in insurance claims. And Lisa said, go ahead and request the insurance guy to come out. Since you've been spending money, that could take a while. We requested him to come out. He came out on Saturday. We met him. My father-in-law met him. He was delightful. He submitted his request Monday. It was approved on Wednesday. So now we've had $100,000 approved to be sent out. Has a penny been sent out? No. Yeah. How about 20,000? 20,000. Yes. It's 20000. That's right. And I said in the letter, do not comment on this post that you're reaching out to me. What did they comment this morning? Dear Dr. Wood, We are reaching out to you. I even reached out to them on Instagram and said, listen, can you help me? Like, I really don't want to write the story, but like, I don't know what else to do. I've been on the phone 170 minutes about this. As a former banker, I was surprised, understood better as there's a mortgage. Well, I understand that there's a mortgage. They have to make sure your repairs are done. But what I don't understand is when I spoke to the last time I called or spoke to somebody was on Wednesday, I had done an expediting request on Monday. I said, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 freaking weeks. She was like, yeah, it can take up to 21 days. I was like, that doesn't make sense. 21 days from the time you get approval till they put the check in the mail? Like, I'm sorry, but no. Who's getting the interest on $195,000? No. I mean, no. Farm Bureau has been amazing. I mean, everybody has hustled and done their best except the powers that be at Truist. That I'm sure last night we're out at the country club hanging out. So anyway, I understand that the second check isn't out. That payout was just approved Wednesday. But to me, if it's approved, it should be mailed out within 72 hours. I'm not a banker. I just play one on TV. But come on. And years ago, we had this happen in our house, and I think our mortgage was, I don't even know who it was, but years ago, you'd go to the branch to get the money approved. Well, that was so easy. You went in there, you showed the receipts, they wrote you a check. Now it's like, the powers that be. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Ah! Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Now I'm like, what's happening? I just can't tell y'all how bad this thing is that I'm trying to hold the phones up with. It's like it's an arm. I cannot get it. It's like a form of torture. This is not good. This is not a good scene. No, I give up. Did Thomas not use his attorney skills? Wait till you get the check, and then they hold the funds for 7 to 10 days. Well, we got the check, like Farm Bureau was lickety-quickety, March 3rd. So we got the check. Yeah, we got the check March 3rd. What's today, March 22nd? 19 days ago? And I mean, the day we got the check, we went and met at Truist. Anyway, I can't imagine saying to Truist, like, oh, my mortgage isn't there yet? Oh, yeah, I'll let you know when I send it out. Did the insurance company pay on the claim and the money was deposited at Truist? So the insurance company writes a check to you, so in this case, to my father-in-law and to Truist, because there's a mortgage with Truist. You mail the check, you sign it, and you mail it to Truist. And then you mail what the insurance adjuster shows are the damages. We had to mail a death certificate because my mother-in-law died. And we had to mail 100 other things. We mailed everything we needed to that day. And then they get all the stuff and they say, okay. So in the first check, the $40,000 check, you don't have to show that you've done any work. I don't even know what the point of that is. Like, you think they would just say, here's your $40,000. But we did everything we were supposed to do. That's been 2 weeks. The second check, you have to show that half of the work has been done. We already did that, and that was approved this past Wednesday. But again, the check has not been mailed out. If you deposit in the account, it's going to hold the check again? What? Oh my God, I'm not going to make it. This is why bad people go to... Never mind. This is why people do bad things. Yeah, so we have spent $60,000, which is probably why my credit card keeps like freezing up. And I have bills for almost $40,000 in my email right now. $40,000. And they're like, well, you just have to tell the contractors. You can't tell a contractor. The contractor has to pay their workers. Like, everybody can't follow this, like, Jamaican timeline. It's an interest earning grift. Ding, ding, ding-a-ling, ding. And that's what someone, not with Truist, but a former banker said to me. This is a huge racket. We make a lot of money off interest. If somebody gave me $200,000, I would be like, shut. And think how many 200,000s there are in insurance claims. Affects your credit. Oh God, I didn't even think about that. So anyway, they have now emailed me and blah, blah, blah. You'd rather talk about this than the darn book. Well, me too. Me too. Let's talk about the book. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't been talking about the book on the subscriber page as much. The subscriber page is just more fun. The book is on the big page. You think they would pay out what they need because they get a mortgage payment. I know, that is a great idea. You know what I should do? I should be like, we're not paying the mortgage until you send the fricking money. So smart. I think they're on it now. A woman emailed me last night, was like, you need to call the CEO. And I was like, oh, okay. Hello. I said, well, then send me his number. She was like, well, it's too late to call him tonight. I'm like, you were drinking wine, and now you're not going to send me that number. Send Amos to their office. Well, the local branch of Truist was so nice, and you have to be so careful. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. People are so sensitive. And so I try to be very clear. The local branch is awesome. But someone somewhere, this is a game. This is not by accident. They even have this amazing insuranceclaimcheck.com. Truist has a website. And because this is such a thing. And you go in there and you see what's been approved and you see when the check's been mailed out. It's still mailed out. Put the mortgage in escrow. That really would be funny. And then when they called and said your mortgage payment's late, be like, oh, it is? Huh. We haven't approved it yet. You want to talk about the dismantling of the Department of Education. I have not had the time or the mental space to dig into what honestly is happening. I know that nothing is changing on the ground level at school. And I'm selling a book. I have a $200,000 renovation. I have an almost 90-year-old that has moved in with me. I have a child with autism. I have 3 teenagers who are applying for summer jobs and need help with resumes. And if there's like a level of overwhelmed, I'm right here. You can't even see my hand. So there's things I have to take off my docket. I haven't talked about Brian Laundrie. I haven't talked about Hilaria Baldwin. I haven't talked about Koberger, the news saying he has autism. I haven't even called my parents today. So I have to do what I'm able to do. And my priorities are selling a book for work because HarperCollins paid me to sell a book, and my family, always my family. But at this point, we have 2 gutted bathrooms and no kitchen. And there is no one else to do it but me. I'm it. My husband is an attorney. My father-in-law is almost 90. He can't do a renovation. And I'm the last man standing. There's just nothing, there's nothing else to do. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Sorry I brought it up. No, I don't mind. I think I say that to say that, like, I miss talking about all those things. Like, I'm ready for life to slow down a little bit so I can get back into what I'm interested in. you know? But I'm just in a I'm in a tidal pool right now, and I'm trying to the tide's coming up, and I got to get my sand toys out of there before they float away. Good thing Grandpa doesn't have to live there. Well, you couldn't live there. So there's a whole nother problem. The house is not inhabitable. I mean, there's no kitchen. What year was the home built? About 1805. So they had a mortgage. So the house was used to store tobacco. Like, it didn't even have windows. And so my husband's grandparents moved in there to do a couple things because the government took their house during the war that they had lived in. And then my in-laws decided they wanted heat and air and a kitchen. Like, there was a separate kitchen building, electricity. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the basics. Like, there were no bathrooms. It had a birthing room. So they did a mortgage a very long time ago. And honestly, the mortgage and the insurance claim are neck and neck the same thing. So the other thought is you could pay off the mortgage, and that was a thought that we had for a second, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. You can pay your mortgage off, and then you take the claim and you do whatever you want with the house. But it just seemed, maybe that would have been smarter. I don't know. It might have been smarter. But we didn't do it. So there we go. And the house is going to be sold. It's going to be sold. So, and then there's another house. There's 2 houses. So anyway, and then there's, 30 acres to mow. And there's mowers that need serviced. And to just say this, my husband and I don't even own a lawnmower. We literally, so at our old house, I mowed the grass. 1, because we didn't have a ton of money. And 2, I really enjoyed mowing a little yard. And we had like all these kind of brick beds in the backyard. So it took 45 minutes. Like, I really enjoyed it. But it always looked like I don't know how to weed eat or edge or anything. So when we moved into this house, I was like, let's pay to have the grass mowed. Because when I go away in the summer or I'm gone at work, Thomas was busy with the kids. So then we ended up looking like we lived in a jungle half the time. Like, trees start growing in the yard. So I got sort of sick of that. So I was like, we're just going to do it. So now you can't pay a lawn service to come and cut 30 acres unless you want to, like, basically buy a Ferrari every week. So you got to find somebody, you got to have the equipment. And my husband is taking all that on, which is a lot. 30 acres. Yeah, 30 acres to mow. Yeah, my dad is real into mortgage. He just thinks it's good to get, the tax mortgage interest. You need a property manager. Hello. The teens. So my teenagers this summer, all 3 of them are living down at Atlantic Beach, where we are right now. We have a condo here. And we rented it for a couple summers. When I was little, it was my parents. They gave it to us. We rented it a few summers ago for like 5 weeks. And this summer we are not renting it at all because they're all going to have jobs here. And which is fine with me. I really enjoy being here in the summer. I have been here every summer since I was 5 years old. And I've always brought my kids down here. And Amos is doing 2 weeks of camp. Amos and I have a good schedule here. It's a condominium complex. So it is freedom for me and for him. So I could go out to the pool and swim laps, or I can sit on the beach. And if he wants to come in, I can take him in and he can come back and find me. So it's really a nice break. So this summer it will be Grandpa and I and the 4 kids. And then my husband will come on the weekends. So anyway, one of my children has gotten a job The other two are interviewing. And the deal at our house is if you don't get a job, I'll get you one. Well, I tell you what, if you say that, ain't no teenager. And so a couple years ago, I went and talked to the guy at Subway, and he was like, yes, at 15, we would love to have them in here chopping vegetables. I think they all, like, we drove by the strip mall, and they looked in the Subway, and people were in their yellow hats, and they were like, I ain't chopping vegetables for the summer. So they somehow all managed to get their own jobs. Now, they don't all have cars. So they're going to have to figure that out. There's 2 cars and 3 teenagers. But 2 of them, I think they might all end up working at the same place, which I have suggested because I said, you all don't have a car. And my oldest son was like, that's my car. And I'm like, I know, but you're going to have to work it out and help them. You're going to either have to drive somebody to work or you're going to have to share the car. I am not involved in the driving. Daddy and I bought 2 cars. We pay insurance on 2 cars. There's 3 of you. The 3 of you are going to have to work that out. No one is using my car because I need my car for Amos. So Amos and I effectively are sharing a car. That's what I told them. Grandpa has a car. It's going to be some good fodder this summer. Get them an e-bike. No, I don't want anybody on an e-bike. And you know, in theory, it's like, oh, it'll be so nice. We'll be down there. Well, then we all get in here and we're in like, it's not a very big space. There's a bunk room. There's an upstairs bedroom and living room. So Grandpa is going to take the upstairs room. That was where my grandparents used to stay when I was little. They'd come all summer. In the kitchen. And then the middle floor, this is Thomas and I's room. And then there's Blair's room. She's the only girl. But little Thomas, for years now, has had the upstairs room. So he's being demoted. So he and Russell are going to be in the bunk room. And then Amos, who is rotten, is going to sleep on a rollaway bed in our bedroom over here in the corner that I need to get. And then you have 6 people that all eat. So that's 21 meals a day. No, wait, is that right? 6 times 3. No, 18. But 21 if you consider that people eat extra meals. So 18 meals a day people will be eating in here. That's a lot of food that has to come in here. Are any of them working at camp? Thomas worked at Camp Seagull last summer, and it was maybe the best thing that's ever happened to me. He was going to college. He had a curfew. I didn't have to monitor where he was or worry about what he was doing. He made no money. I mean, they just don't make a lot of money. He made what a camp counselor does, but I matched his salary at the camp. And I would do it all day long. I've actually already told the other 2. I think they're more interested, and they might work at Trinity. I'm like, I'll pay you. I'll pay you whatever they pay you. I swear it saved me money. I didn't have to pay for food. Anyway, it's funny. You're going to laugh or cry. And then my parents are in Beaufort, so I figure if I get really desperate, I can send people over there. Like Grandpa or one of the teenagers. Oh, and at home, I have a woman that helps me with laundry, cleaning. Here, nobody, just Adrian. And I might get a cleaner every other week or something. So like I'm vacuuming, I'm doing all the stuff that I don't always do in the wintertime because I work. Oh, and a dog and 2 cats. You want to talk about hair? How will Grandpa handle the 3rd floor walk up? Well, he's okay with the stairs. He was living in a house and he had 4 floors to walk up. So that is good. And, but my thought is this. When my grandparents were older and would get here, He'll wake up in the morning. He can sit on the porch. He can have his coffee. He can watch the news. It's very loud. And then what I would suggest is for him to then come down maybe at 10 or 11. He could walk around the condominium complex. He could sit out under the umbrella by the water. He can talk to the neighbors. He can kind of be down and out right then. And then he can go back up around 2 for a rest for a couple hours. And then when he gets up, we'll have dinner. A lot of times Amos and I go to the Coral Bay Club for a late swim. He could go with us. And then get back and go to bed. So my thought is he'll come up like twice a day, in the morning and then in the afternoon, but not like I do 498 times. Good time to teach the kids to do laundry and vacuum. I would rather pull my eyeballs out than they know how to do laundry and vacuum. It's just not worth it to me. There are other things I would rather them do, like do video with me and babysit. What about book travel? Well, I'm going to do some book travel in the local area. And then our nanny caregiver lives in Edenton. So I try to have her, she's working a ton this spring, so it usually follows out. So we will probably try to get her to come down this summer too, but then where does she stay? I mean, we're short on bedrooms. Yeah. It's bad times. Bad times. No, it's not. It's not like real problems. No one is sick. Tales from the Beach Condo Chronicles. This is going to be a lot. Maybe Grandpa could nap in the bunk room. No, we're not napping in the bunk room. The bunk room is going to have another TV in it because we need another TV space because Fox News is going to be on DEFCON 100 on the top floor. Yay, you ordered the book from Quail Ridge. Yay, it is. So it's autographed. They call it a book plate. It's like a sticker, and we've all signed it. Yes, and Grandpa, like the nice thing about the condominium is there's people to talk to. I'm going to just make sure the umbrellas are up so he can go out and sit under the umbrella. Could stay with Lisa. Oh, Lisa, my friend Lisa has both her parents. She has 2 parents that come down here and stay. It's a darn sitcom over here. Lisa and I have taken up watching All in the Family, which might be one of the funniest inappropriate shows on the planet. It's really good. But anyway, how do you do your infusion in the summer? Well, the nurse can come here, or I can go back to Edenton. I have not looked at the dates yet. Oh, you ordered it from Barnes & Noble. Good. We haven't looked at the dates yet. Yes, Grandpa can visit with Lisa's parents, particularly Lisa's dad and Grandpa are the same age, and he'll be here a good bit of the summer. So that'll be nice. And my parents, Grandpa really enjoys my parents, especially my mother. So when they're here, like, I'm totally going to be like, come over and pick up Grandpa. My papa was Archie Bunker, my grandfather, my dad's dad. I mean, he was as close to Archie Bunker as you would meet in real life. Like, when he was really old, they would stay here, and he would wait for me at the door and be like, somebody came over here. And I would be like, well, who was it? He'd be like, the boy with the red shoe. Or then he'd say, somebody called you. And I'd say, well, who called? You know, it was like a teenage girl. Well, how in the hell do I know? I was like, well, did you write it down? So then I got annoyed that he couldn't keep up with my messages. So I started turning the ringer off on the phone, the home phone. And about 2 days later, he would be like, the damn ringer's off. I'd be like, really? And then one time the painters came and they took down these arm railings. And they came back on a Friday and they were like, we're going to put the arm railings back up. I was like, why don't you wait till Monday? And then my grandparents, they couldn't come downstairs. Don't judge me. I was a teenager. They're like, we can't get downstairs. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. I'm like downstairs smoking and like drinking Budweiser. Pre-ordered from Valley Bookseller. Stuff we all have to deal with. I know. My life is no different. It's not harder than anybody's. It's really not. But I do think if you don't laugh and talk about it, like you might drown. So I would just rather talk about it. It's not like whining. I don't think it is. But this old person carrying stuff is like a whole new thing that I didn't even know existed. Take doing resumes for your teens off your plate. So I'm not doing their resumes, Nancy, but they're learning how to do their own resumes. So when they do their resume, just like when they write essays or do applications, I read through them and make suggestions, or I might do grammatical editing. And before they have an interview for a job, they might call and be like, I have this interview. What should I wear? What should I talk about? It's called parenting. It's not that I'm like, good luck. Because at the end of the day, I want them to get the job and I want them to get into the college, right? So it's important that I be a parent, right? Call me crazy, but I think it is. I mean, or that's what I do think it's important. So anyway, now they can use AI. Dear baby Jesus, AI. That's all we need. So anyway, my teenagers are very self-sufficient, and because they've had a little brother with special needs, like they're probably more self-sufficient than most kids, and they've been at boarding school. I mean, they pack their suitcases, they fly by themselves, they go on a trip, they organize what they need, they have debit cards, they keep up with what's in their account. I mean, they do right, to me, right much. They can tell you how much car insurance is. We keep them fairly apprised of finances and what things cost, and you know, we try to give them a lot of independence and encourage independence, but also guide them to making good decisions. Oh, that's exciting, Patsy. Amos is going to camp this summer. He's excited. He's doing Camp Trinity for a week. It's the week after 4th of July. And then the following week, he's going to Camp Royale for Spend the Night Camp. And he is excited. I wish they weren't 2 weeks in a row. Like, I wish we had a little bit of time with space between them. But that was the week. It's for kids with autism that are his age. So that's it. So I'm happy for him. He's excited. And I hope it's easier for me this summer. I really struggled last summer, and I didn't know I was going to struggle. I thought it's going to be great. He's at camp. To say I was miserable is an understatement. I couldn't go back to Edenton because I wanted to be nearby. I was miserable. I could cry thinking about it. I was freaking miserable. It was like this culmination of dropping him off at a group home and like walking to the graveyard and putting myself in it. Like, I just was like, what? This is horrible to leave him somewhere. But I have got to practice. I want him to know that he doesn't need me, and I have to practice knowing he's okay without me. So I feel a little lighter about it this summer. So anyway, are the kids going to work at Amos Mosquito? Blair is working at Amos Mosquito. Thomas is interviewing at Amos Mosquito to be a waiter. He has worked there in the past. And I believe Russell is going to interview to be a busboy there again. What are they doing before they work? Well, Thomas gets out of school. NC State's last day of class is April 22nd. So I think he'll start working like May 1st. At the beach, wherever he gets a job. And Blair is, what's Blair doing? Blair told him when she could work. Blair's doing some camps. And then, but she was saying to me a couple days ago, I might try to work like 2 weeks here and there. Blair wants to make money. Russell did not work last summer because he did an internship at our hospital. So he worked without getting paid from 9 to 4 every day, which is fine with me. I have no problem with that. Anyway, does Honor go to Camp Amos? No. So Honor is only with Amos if I'm with Amos. And Honor is not with us at the beach this weekend because we didn't have room in the car. Do they choose to work near friends? Blair, I think, would love to have a friend work at the same place, but no. There's a spike ball tournament, NC State. Oh my gosh, that was like Thomas's sport. Oh, he would love that. He's at school this weekend. How did you get Amos into Camp Royale? Well, we applied on time, but they have a lottery, and evidently we got in. Amos doesn't get the waiver yet, so I think we get pushed to the list because he doesn't have Medicaid and he doesn't have the waiver. And there's no after-school program or summer program that we can access. We used to be able to access the summer program here, and now we can't because it's only for people that use it in the winter. So that's that. So that's why we get to go. So anyway, yeah, they like working at the beach. I think they're old enough now that if they wanted to live in Edenton and work, I'd be okay with that. My husband is there. But they all choose to live here, which is nice. But they've got friends here, and we've got a lot of college. They've just made friends over the years. Where is Honor staying? Right now, she's home with my husband at our house where we live. Oh, thank you, Mr. Z Moose Knuckle. I don't know if I trust you, but is your friend Lisa at the beach? She's coming to the beach today. When will Russell tour colleges? So Russell has toured Carolina, State, Duke, UNC Wilmington, and UVA. Not that I think anybody's getting into UVA from my house. We are going to go see Wake Forest in June. He's doing a camp there for a week. And then he wants to go see, we're going to go in the fall during football season. He's going to go to the University of Tennessee. I have one of my cousin's children goes there, so we're going to see if he can go stay with him. He's going to go back to NC State in the fall to stay with his older brother. And then he wants to go see University of Tennessee, South Carolina, and maybe Swanee. So we're going to do, in the fall, a little bit of places. But Russell and I we've just done this college thing last year. Russell, and I agree with him. Russell's like, I'll just apply places, and then when I get in, I can go see them then. And we did that to some extent. Like, we didn't go see South Carolina until Thomas got into the honors college. And honestly, if we had been to see it first, I think we still would have wanted to go back to really look at that. So it just sort of saved us a weekend of expense and time. So if Russell gets into University of Tennessee or Clemson or whatever, if he doesn't get into Clemson, we won't go look at Clemson. University of Tennessee in Knoxville. I don't know why I applied there and got in, but who knows where they get the stuff? TikTok. I would like him to look at like Elon and High Point University. I really hope he likes Wake Forest. I think he would love Duke. I think Duke would be a great fit for him. Do I think he can get into Duke? Davidson. My godchild is at Davidson, and that is a really good idea. I forgot about Davidson. I think Davidson could be a good fit. He thinks he wants bigger, but Davidson is 1,800 people, so it's not tiny, you know? Is Big Thomas watching March Madness? Big Thomas, life is different at our house. Big Thomas is with his dad today. They are taking 2 cars and hopefully trading them in and ending up with 1 car. Am I worried about Mo Green's job? No. Mo Green is the superintendent of education in North Carolina. That job is not like going away. That's an elected position, like being governor. Belmont. I don't think he's interested in going up north. Yeah, so Big Thomas, it used to be that, hold on, oh my gosh, the thing is so heavy. Sit back. It used to, I just loaded you on my something. Put this on my stomach. Hold on. Okay, this is really not a good look, but you're just gonna have to deal. It used to be that when we would come to the beach, Big Thomas, like on a weekend like this. Now, honestly, if we didn't have Grandpa and we weren't doing all this house renovation stuff, this weekend, the 3 of us, Amos and Big Thomas and I, would have come down here for the weekend. And that was kind of where we were. Our daughter's in 9th grade this year. She's off at boarding school. So we were kind of planning more of we thought this year was going to be like the year for the 3 of us to do things together, you know? And now there's 4 of us together, which is fine. But this weekend, like if I come down here, he's in charge of Grandpa. So they're going to trade in 2 cars and get a car. Because they had Grandma's car and Grandpa's car. And anyway, I've tried to stay out of it. I've made suggestions. They need something to haul mowers around, but Grandpa wants a hybrid something. I don't know. My suggestion was a little truck, like a truck that could pull a trailer so they could do the mowers, but something that Grandpa could drive that's not big. Grandpa doesn't drive a lot, but he likes the ability to like go to the grocery store. So that's where we are currently. And Thomas was like, we're going to trade 1 car in and sell the other one. Then I kept saying, like, I think I would trade both of them in. Like, we just don't have time to do all this. And today he was like, we're taking both cars. I was like, I think it's a great idea. A hybrid. I know, he was like, I think I'd like a Porsche. I was like, I don't care what he gets. I mean, it's his car. Does Grandpa not want to go to a retirement place? No, negative, no way, Jose. No, he won't even go to the senior center. He acts like you're going to try to drop him off. He told Thomas, Adrian's trying to get me to live at Swain Auditorium. I was like, I am not. I just think he would like the senior center. They go on field trips. I'm not going. I don't even like old people. Oh, yeah. Trade 1 for a Toyota crew cab, then keep the other through the summer and then sell it. No, we're not. We're just trying to get rid of things. My sister-in-law just said, tell him he's already owned a Porsche. I just cannot. You know, I'm just so glad that I'm not doing it myself. Like buying a car, I find, and it's funny, Big Thomas has only done it 1 time. It's always been me because I would have the time. So I would go and sit. It always takes 4 hours, right? And the only time he's bought a car is his car now. And my name is on it. Like he didn't even know that we didn't both need. I'm like, why is my name on your car? He's gone through so much. Be patient. Listen, if I say funny things about Grandpa, I'm not being patient. You can make jokes and laugh. It's so funny to me that it's like a real thing that people struggle with, and I'm just unwilling to be silenced. Like if I make funny jokes about my teenagers, nobody is like, oh, you shouldn't say that. But there's something that people feel very protective over an old person. I love him. He is in my house, but I can still laugh. I mean, damn it, I'm going to laugh. Seriously. This is not about, it's so weird. I get these private messages. You were disrespectful. What? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I mean, it's insane. You know who I think it is that says it? It's old people that are worried somebody's talking about them. I hope when I'm old, and if I'm almost 90 telling my children I'm going to get a Porsche, I hope they tell people and laugh at me too. I mean, he laughs at himself. Yeah, no. I mean, I'd like somebody to come over here and live for about a week and not laugh. Or saying, I don't like old people. Am I not supposed to laugh about that? How can you not like old people when you're old? I mean, it'd be like saying, I don't like autistic people. I have one. Caroline said, he has always been like this. This thought process isn't a new thing. Well, Caroline, that is a very good point. He would have said he hated old people at 30. Like he was saying the other night, he and my husband were arguing about who worked harder. And I was like, the fact that you two are having this conversation makes me want to drink a gallon of vodka. I was like, I have never in my life, and I said, and what's really bad to Grandpa, I said, you've created this monster of him talking like this because this is how you talk. This is like genetics, nature, and nurture's perfect storm. You have created a clone of yourself with the worst. These are the worst character traits. No one ever should be talking about how hard they work. Ever. Never. Nobody wants to hear about it. Not me. I'm not listening. So you all can argue about it. Your dad won't use a cane. Oh yeah, we won't use a cane. Yeah, glasses, hearing aids, doctor's appointments. Mary, we're in it. I would love to stay at the beach. And we're in this current stage where, and I know it's hard. I mean, he's been with us now, like the newness is worn off. But every day he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, he wants me to tell him what to do. And I said, you can do whatever you want to do. Well, should I go to the coffee shop? Do you want to go to the coffee shop? Yeah, I can. I said, you don't have to go to the coffee shop. You can have coffee right here and you can have a blueberry muffin. No, I'll go to the coffee shop. So he wants to go to the coffee shop, but he has never not been told what to do. I think my mother-in-law would be like, get up, we're going to the coffee shop. Well, I'm just not going to do that. I mean, Lord, can you imagine the people on YouTube if I did that? They would be like, you are so mean. But now it's like, it's said in such a like sad, morose way. Huh. I'm like, how do you like your new glasses? They don't really work. I'm like, I put the glasses on. I'm like, well, they're really strong and I have terrible vision. Well, they might work a little bit. I'm like, do you want to take them back? You have 30 days. He does his hand. I don't know. I'm like, well, let's give it another week and then let's go back. Okay. The glasses that were really good were in the car, but I guess you all threw them away. I said, nobody threw any glasses away in the car. Maybe some workmen stole them. I said, nobody stole the glasses. Where did you get them? We could get them. Well, I just bought them at a little place. At Goodwill. He bought prescription glasses at Goodwill. And now he can't find them. And the $750 glasses we just got with his prescription, They're not that very good. They're not that good. When people start talking like this, that is like, gets me. My children, my husband, I cannot have, sounds like he's a little depressed. He's probably sad, but it's not depressed. Because if you're like, do you want to go shopping? He's like, yes, I need shoes. And I had to chase him into Belk. I could not even catch him. He was walking so fast. I said, you are hauling ass in here. He needs to be entertained. He's old and grieving. Yes, I know all these things. He wants you to do things with him. Well, I do things with him, but like, I'm not my 80-year-old mother-in-law. Like, I have responsibilities. I have a job. I've sold a book. I have 4 kids. Like, I can't become, I'm not his wife. You know? And my mom would call my brother Eeyore. Caroline, my sister-in-law, said, tell him to stop being a pig won't. That's what he used to tell me when I acted like that. He did used to talk about pig won't. Oh, you're a pig won't. So he's been in pig won't mood. He just wants to go out and shop. He wants to go out and shop and eat. And every week we have gone somewhere. We've gone out to lunch. We've taken a day trip. This week we're going on Monday to Little Washington. We're going to go eat at his favorite restaurant. Or actually, we might go over and eat lunch in Bath because he wanted to do that last time, but we just eaten. Could he volunteer? He hates volunteering. He doesn't want to volunteer. He doesn't like volunteering. He's not volunteering. He wants a purpose. I don't think he wants a purpose. I have tried to come up with purposes. I'm like, why don't you see if somebody wants to eat lunch? I don't even like them. I said, you could join Rotary. I served Rotary. I asked, can Grandpa join Rotary? I don't want to do that. Yeah, he likes a road trip. But nobody can go on a road trip every day. I mean, the senior center goes on like 2 trips a week, but he won't go. I just want to be with you and Thomas. I said, well, we both work. I mean, it can't happen. He may need a companion. I think he does. Yeah. The restaurant in Bath might be closed. My sister-in-law just said he doesn't want a purpose. He wants to be catered to like my mother did. Ding, ding, ding. He said the other day, I didn't even tell you this, Caroline. I mean, every day he says some funny mess. He says he is making sure he keeps getting it. I think that's it. I think it's a little more manipulative in a funny way and less depressed. He said, well, I guess I'll make dinner tonight. I have never seen him use a microwave. I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, I'm going to need you to go get a blender. I said, well, I have a blender. What are you going to put in the blender? Well, I'm going to make succotash. I said, in the blender? We bought the can. I don't like the can. I said, have you tasted the can that we went to the grocery store and bought last week? No. I said, well, what are you going to put in the blender? You can't make this shit up. Beets. And I would say this to him, like he and I could do a video and talk about this. Beets, lima beans, corn, tomato, and cabbage. We're going to put it in the blender, and then you're going to warm it up. And my husband is listening to this. And he said, I can't even use the language that he said. I'm not bleedy bleep bleep eating that. And I said, if you want to make that, you can, but you're going to have to clean up too. He went, oh, well, that's not unusual to say. If you cook, you have to clean up from what you cook. The honeymoon is over. Yes. So then he said, I made the other night, I was like, we have dinner. We have chicken wings and mashed potatoes. Oh, oh, I'm not hungry. I said, what would you like to eat? Well, you promised we were going to have hot dogs and kraut. I was like, I feel sure that I did not promise we were having hot dogs and kraut. I've never eaten kraut in my life. But I'll make you hot dogs and kraut. Do you want one or two? Just one. So I make one. I didn't know they were so little. I'll have two. He thought you were going to offer to make it. Yes, he thought I was going to offer to make it. He had no interest in making that. And I'm not making it. I'm not putting beets in a blender and heating them up. I am not doing it. I have my limits. I wouldn't do it for my children. I wouldn't do it for my husband. I wouldn't do it for my own dad. Unless you are on your deathbed, I'm not putting beets in a blender. Can you find tasks for him to do? Yes, but he doesn't want tasks. Deanne, I know you think I'm evil. He does not want tasks. He won't even throw away a napkin. Like my nurse was there. I have a nurse. She comes and does my IVIG. I had to serve at Rotary. He was at the house while I served at Rotary because he wouldn't go. Because, he didn't want to go. So he had to stay home because I had somewhere to go. He's on the couch when I get back. He's eating dessert at 12 o'clock for lunch. You know what? Fine. If you want to eat dessert for lunch, go ahead. And because I'm between I don't need to monitor what he eats. He's a grown up. But then the doctor says to me, he shouldn't eat dessert for lunch. So who do I become? The parent? It's hard. It's very tricky. He finishes the dessert. I'm getting hooked up to the IV. He's sitting on the couch. He says to my nurse, will you take this? His trash. And I was like, no, she is not. No. She was like, I'll take it. I was like, Grandpa, she is my nurse. You can walk into the kitchen and throw your frickin' trash away. I didn't use the word frickin'. He was like, oh, it's lazy. Lazy. You put my hearing aids in every day. I'm like, no, you can put your own hearing aids in. How about my glasses? You can put your glasses on. And my mother-in-law last summer, I noticed she was putting the hearing aids in. And I thought to myself, but I didn't say anything. But when he came to live with us, I was like, we have taught him to put his hearing aids in. He can get orange juice out of the refrigerator and pour it in a cup and put the orange juice back. He has learned to throw trash away if it's just he and I around. And we're working on the dishwasher. What else can he do? He can plug in the hearing aids. All these things, my mother and I, and this is to be totally honest, I'm talking too long. I have stuff to do. These are things that why I work so hard with Amos on. And I say to my mother about my own father, you have got to set him up for success. Do not do so much for dad that when you're not around, he's miserable. I need Amos to know he doesn't need me. My father-in-law truly has, my mother-in-law, bless her soul, did so much that you enable people to be entitled and lazy. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but it is really not helpful. The doctor shouldn't say stuff like that. No, I mean, the doctor is you don't need to have a milkshake for breakfast every day. You need to take care of your teeth. I mean, I think it's important for him to be independent. I had no idea how much my mother-in-law, uh, yeah, I, yes, I think our whole family is in agreement that he should be independent. Now, does he need to drive around? No, I don't want him driving to Elizabeth City. I don't think it's smart. You know, this summer he was like, "Well, I can drive." I said, "I know you can drive, but you don't need your car at the beach." And it's funny, you know, we've like started doing bill pay and like doing all these things. Um, and people were like, "Well, he likes going to pay the bill." But I said to him, "Would you rather still go pay the bill at Farm Bureau or the mortgage company?" He's like, "No." Like he's relieved not to do those things. Big Thomas will be like him. No, no. Are you crazy? No, no, he will not be. No. Big Thomas is independent. I mean, when the children were little, he would on a Saturday, honest to goodness, go to Wendy's and come home with lunch for himself. And we would have like a 5, 4, and a 2-year-old be like, "Does Daddy, what you eating?" And I'd be like, "Did you bring the children any lunch?" "Oh, I didn't know they were hungry." Um, yeah, he had lunch with he's been out to lunch twice this week. So I have said to people like one thing that would be really helpful is if anybody wants to take him to lunch. So he went out to lunch twice this week, and but he told one of the people that when they drove by Swain, he said, "I hope they don't put me there." I did tell him, now this was maybe not nice, but during the ice storm, he went out and decided he was going to walk to the coffee shop, which was closed because, you know, he acts like he hates going to the coffee shop, but he didn't go for a day, and because he loves the coffee shop, but he doesn't want to admit, I guess it's the pig won't thing. He doesn't want to admit he enjoys doing something. Like he wants to be Eeyore a tiny bit, I guess, to get attention, you know, and like, because in the beginning I'd be like, "Well, let me make you something special." He headed off to the coffee shop, and the road was a sheet of freaking ice. Now, he had fallen the week before because he grabbed a hold of the trash can and it was on wheels and he scraped his knee. And I said, "Why did you touch the trash can?" "Well, I was making a turn." So, anyway, we had a fall, and Thomas said, "The door's open downstairs." I was like, oh, he was yelling at me, Thomas, during the ice storm. I was like, "I didn't open the door. I haven't even been downstairs." And I was like, "Oh, your dad." So Thomas tears off, finds him like 4 houses down, walking with a giant broom as a cane. And when he got back, I was like, "Let me tell you something. Do not leave this house in an ice storm to walk to a closed coffee shop. If you break a hip, I'm telling you, you're going to have to live in a nursing home. And I know you don't want to do that. And I don't want you to do that. And if you broke a hip by accident, it's one thing. But if you're an idiot and get hurt, my sympathy level is here." He heard that. And Thomas was like, Exactly. I mean, I mean, it's kind of like a teenager that goes out and like drinks and drives and wrecks their car. You ain't getting another car. That ship has sailed. Does he like gardening? No, no. He likes shopping. He likes shopping for clothes and shoes and antiques, and he likes going to the grocery store. So I do try to get him to go to the grocery store every day. I try to get him to read. This week he read this book that his uncle wrote, and then he wanted me to take parts of the book and send them to a sister-in-law. Can you mail parts of this book to your sister-in-law? I said, well, how would that happen? Well, I don't know. I said, well, you go to Sproul's Office Supply. You love going to Sproul's. Why don't you go there? Okay. So he goes to Sproul's and he spends about 3 hours there. He comes back. Well, we need to pick it up. I said, when's it going to be ready? Well, I don't know. I said, we'll go back tomorrow. He goes back. Well, they have it. I said, is it done? Well, I don't know. I said, well, you need to send it. Well, how are we going to send it? I said, well, most people go to the post office. Have you been to the post office? Yes. Yes, we have an air tag on his wallet, an air tag on his phone, and in his car. So anyway, I need to tell Thomas to get this out. Sproul's texts me and says, we have this book and he wants us to mail it. This is like the hometown version of Staples. They don't mail things for people. I said, you do not need to mail that. Well, it's fine. I can go to the post office at lunch. I was like, no. I said to him, call Aunt Nanny and get her address. Here's a pen and a piece of paper. You can then go mail the copies to her. I don't have her address. I said, you call her. She doesn't want me to call unless it's Sunday night. I said, she said to you, I heard her, let's try to talk every Sunday night. Nobody said to you, I don't want to talk to you anytime. Well, I don't want to call. I said, well, then I guess you're not getting the address. The same thing I would say to my teenagers. I don't want to apply for a job. Well, then I guess you're not going to get one. And I'll get you one that you don't like. No, you're doing it. My husband has pulled that mess with me over the years, but I put a stop to it. Like if he would call me and be like, can you call so-and-so? And I'd be like, no, you just called me to ask me to call them. You call them. My children, can you call and order in food? No, you call and order the food. Now you've got me now I'm on a tear. And you might think it's mean, but I think it's smart. What if something were to happen to me and it were Thomas, Grandpa, and Amos? I got to get a DNR. No. So what's he going to do this summer? Well, I don't know. I said to him, do you want to stay in Edenton or at the beach? Well, I'd rather be at the beach. Right now, he's sort of half mad that I won't take him with me on a book tour. I can't have him in Chicago for 24 hours. Like I am working. I would lose him. This is why I have subscribers. So Facebook is subscribers, YouTube is not, or YouTube members. If you'd like to be a YouTube member, it's very fun. And he does enjoy doing videos with me, so that's good. And we just have not had time, but I thought we could go around town and do videos. He's excited about my weekend. I have volunteered him to help. Hey, he doesn't want to do that. I said, you know what? You're doing it. You're going to enjoy it. He's going to be a docent on the pilgrimage at Hayes for 2 hours one afternoon and 2 hours one morning. Damn it, he's doing it. It will be people. It's his cousin's home. He's doing it. The same way I sign up my children to do things. He's doing it. You can't act sad and miserable and then not want to do anything. So yes, he's volunteering. And then he said, well, what did you do with... What did you do with my white wig? I said, which one? We have 3 downstairs. Well, I guess I'm going to have to be in costume. I said, no one is asking you to be in costume to be a docent. He likes to dress up in costume. Honest to God, he loves it. Do you still have those tights? I was like, I have to drink. I'm drinking. I'm drinking. Can he go stay with his daughter? Yes, she would love to have him. Well, love might be a stretch. He is welcome to stay with her. He does not want to go there. He wants to stay with Thomas mainly. He also likes the coffee shop and his friends, even though he doesn't want to see any friends. He likes to walk around downtown. He would drive them freaking crazy. If he couldn't walk places, I mean, I'm like, you need to go on a walk. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to walk." I'm like, well, you're walking. He wants to play dress up. Yeah, he don't want to go. He don't want to, and they both work. He wants to. I mean, I'm like, I need my parents to get back home so they can entertain him. I'm like, Grandpa's going to come stay with y'all this summer. He loves my mother. I mean, my papa loved my mother. When my mother came to visit, honestly, he was like, Alice, do you want Janie's car? I would love for you to have it. I was like, you're not giving my mother Janie's car. You're selling the car. He wasn't kidding around. Giving my mother a car. What if my mother had been like, Tom just gave me a Lexus? He hadn't once said to me, do you want the car? You have a lot on your plate. I know, it's so nice. I'm at the beach in the bed in my jammies. You're going to have to help him put on his tights. I'm telling you, I am not helping anyone put on tights. It's not happening. But those teenagers, y'all are worried about the teenagers doing laundry and cleaning toilets and vacuuming. The teenager's job this summer is going to be everybody is going to take turns with Grandpa. Like everybody's going to have a day. There's 4 of us, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And everybody's going to have a day. And that one day, your job is to come up with an outing for Grandpa. And then, and then I'll pay somebody to do a 5th day. And then Big Thomas comes, and then he's going to be in charge of it Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. Who cares about laundry? Take Grandpa. Y'all can ride over to Beaufort. You can go to lunch. You can go to breakfast. You can go to dinner. It's happening. You have described caretaking so perfectly. I just had no idea that this life existed. I feel so dumb, but my mom's parents died very young. My grandmother lived with us, but she was very sick. My mom was 35. I mean, my grandmother was like, I don't even know if she was 60 or early 60s. My gramps died even younger. My dad's parents moved to North Carolina, but they didn't live with us. They lived with us in the summer, and my mother was a saint. Though I do remember my mother always wanting us to go home. And then when we got old enough, she would leave us here with my grandparents. But my grandparents, she went and visited them every day, which is how it would be. If Grandpa lived in town, she would go over and visit for a couple hours every day. But like, there's just no reason. Like, why pay for him to go live somewhere else? And then I'm just worried about him being over there. And my grandparents had each other. If there's 2 people that have each other, it's way different than just one alone. Good idea about the kids and Grandpa. Yeah, I mean, like, and I enjoy doing stuff with Grandpa, but like, I have to work. I mean, this is work. I know y'all are nuts, but like, this is why I do paid member videos. I'm not working to like pay for diamonds, but I'm working, like, I want Thomas to go study at the London School of Economics this summer. And it's, $6,500. Like, I work so he can do things like that. It's important to me. I want my children to have opportunities. I want those things. They're not things that we need to have. We could not have this condo. We could live in Edenton. I would go crazy. But anyway, I work and I like work. I think he has to go to the senior center. He ain't going to the senior center. I mean, the one friend took him there to visit this week, and I could not even repeat his, I can't even repeat what he had to say about the senior center. Does Thomas have somewhere to stay at the London School of Economics? Yes, he lives on campus. I hope he studies more than he just has a good time. Thomas loves economics. Yeah. My dad, meanwhile, loves the senior center. He loves it. You think your father-in-law would like to live in the house across from you, and then someone lived there with him. Well, he would be alone over there, so then I would be running over there to make him lunch. It just makes more sense for him to be in our house. I don't want him sitting over there by himself. It'd be one, like if it were Adrian loved being alone. Thomas, Russell, and Blair do not have to worry a bit about me living alone. My mother, if it were my mother right now, I would have no problem saying, Mom, do you want to live across the street? Yes. She would love to be alone. I would love to be alone. He does not want to be alone. If he said, I really want to live, I'd love to live in that little house. We could visit. I'd be like, great, let's do it. He don't want to do that. He's like, don't make me go. But we are going to have to discuss this kind of moping about, do you want me to go to the coffee shop? Like, we're going to have to say, we love you, which we said in the beginning. You're here with us. Nothing you can do can make us not love you, but you got to perk up. We're going to be positive. We're not going to be negative. We're, because if you're like, well, how so-and-so? I don't like them. Let's try to think of everything positive. Your dad could take it. Well, my dad is in Key Biscayne, and Grandpa is in North Carolina. But that's a wonderful idea. What if I took Grandpa down there and left him for a couple weeks? My dad actually is a wonderful caregiver. It's shocking. When I took Grandpa down there, Dad made it so easy. Mom and Amos and I went and did something. My dad took Grandpa to the bank for a haircut to get coffee. Like, my dad was thriving in being a caregiver. He was like, now what does he like to eat? It's like, I've never seen anything like this. Though I shouldn't have been surprised, because one time Amos was in the hospital in Chapel Hill, and my mother was up there with me, and my dad was here, and I had the 3 kids here, and they were okay to stay at the condo by themselves. My friend Lisa was here, but my dad took them to dinner every night, and he really took it serious. What about volunteering? He does not want to volunteer. "15 years being alone. Be careful what you wish for." Well, I don't mean alone all the time, but I mean living alone. I think I'd be okay with that, as long as I still had access to people. Yes, we talk about Janie. We just were talking about her 2 nights ago. He was, yes, 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 yes. And I know he misses her. I know he misses her. I think I'm going to take more Zoloft. That's a good idea. Get your dad to take him to the senior center. He'd be a great storyteller at the library. I know. I thought he'd be great at school. He could work with the kids, but he also says things that are inappropriate, so you sort of have to monitor him. Yeah, we do need to have a perk up pep talk. Historic guide once a week. I don't like to do that. I mean, the other day he had 16 baseball hats with tags on them. And I was trying to clean up downstairs because we have boxes of clothes, just stuff. And I have 100 and something people coming to Edenton. So I was trying to get the garage cleaned out so I could kind of have a staging area to do gift bags. And there were all these hats. And I took them upstairs and I was like, what's the deal with these hats? Do you want these hats? He was like, yes. I said, this hat is from 1991 and it's never been worn. Well, I might wear it. I said, okay, this hat has a shark bite out of it and it says shark attack. Are you going to wear it? Well, I might wear it. I said, but you haven't worn it in 30 years. Well, it might be a funny joke. I was like, well, there's 16 of these hats. Harley Davidson. I mean, you've never seen any. And I'd probably gotten rid of 40. So then I'm like, but you don't want to be like, you're not keeping the hats. But like, his closet is jammed tight, full of clothes. He has 2 full closets of coats. Coats. We love a coat. But it's spring. And now he's like, I need some bathing suits. I'm like, I haven't seen you get in the water in my whole life. I've never even seen him get in the ocean. He's excited about my weekend. He'll like that. He wants to sit and have people falling on him. And my friend Paul is going to try to get his book published because he's like a little kid. Whenever I'm like, I've got my book signing, he's like, well, I wrote a book. I'm like, you know what? Good. Then let's get copies of it and you can go around and peddle them downtown. Get you a cart and you can sign books my weekend. You probably make a ton of money. Might have a good side hustle. He could work. He probably would like to work. He would love to go to work with Thomas, but Thomas has done it a couple times. But he's like, I mean, I have to work. Like, I can't. He's like, let's stop there. Let's go to lunch. Like, I'm working. He wants to feel important. I think if he wanted to feel important, he would volunteer, or like go spend time with people. Kimberly's going to fawn. Kimberly, I might give you a refund. Best fawner gets their money back for the weekend. Well, I hope somebody loves me good when I'm almost 89. And so that's what I say to myself every day, I hope somebody loves me and wants to spend time with me. And I'm going to remember, though, like, perk up, be positive, get a job at the grocery store. Okay. Tomorrow night is Old Mom Sunday night. I'm going to do a chat where I'm going to suggest that he should get a job at the grocery store. And then that'll have to be a subscriber video because I cannot imagine what his response will be. Honestly, I'm so excited to do this. I have gotten you a job at Food Lion. Oh my God, it's 2:00 and I hadn't done shit. Carry on, people. Come be a subscriber, YouTube member. Buy the frickin' Autism Out Loud book, please. Just please. I ask for very little. Goodbye.